You guys, I am so excited to welcome Amanda Francis to our Day Job to Dream Job Summit. You don't know her. Amanda is a digital business coach for coaches, a digital course creator, and a money manifestation queen. Through her four digital courses, weekly vlog, and private coaching packages, Amanda helps women to design a life and business they are wildly obsessed with. Ooh, I love wildly obsessed.
I know. I needed to give it a little kick.
Definitely. So, Amanda, this is called the Day Job to Dream Job Summit. So I'm curious, could you tell us a little bit about your kind of entrepreneurial story and journey? What has that looked like for you?
Or did I was born to be an entrepreneur.
Were you just born this like sparkly spiritual entrepreneur? Was that just like
no,
how you started?
I was born to be an entrepreneur. I know that deep in my soul that this is the only way I could live a happy life. I sleep till 10 a.m. every day. I work in the middle of the night. My clients are all over the world. My assistants, my team are all over the world. There's no other way I ever could have lived.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, like everyone else, I tried to follow the normal path. God, I haven't thought about this in a long time, so it's so funny you're asking me.
Yeah.
I've worked in real estate agencies. I was a server. I worked at a cable company. I worked at a church. I eventually went to school, and then I was a therapist. But see, that's the thing. I finally followed my heart. Like, I'm here to help people, and I got a master's in counseling, and I'm thankful for my education. Mm-hmm. But I still felt restricted in that because there was still, like, a governing body over therapists saying, like, where we can practice and certain expectations on practicing. So I can only practice therapy in the state of Texas. And I'm, like, sitting here thinking I'm bored to change the world. So there were many levels of me trying to get free, but I didn't truly have freedom until I was like, fuck all of you.
Yeah.
I'm starting my own business.
So what was your favorite job out of all of those?
Well, I was a nanny. That was when I think I learned to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so I was nannying for one family at a time. Okay, so there's these aimless years where I'm just like, all these jobs, I don't even know what the fuck is happening. And then there's these like several years where I'm nannying. Mm-hmm. And I started off nannying for one family at a time, but other families in the neighborhood would want me to work for them. Okay. And it started to turn into a business because I realized if I don't work for anyone full time, and if I work for all of them, like a half day here, 2 days here, 3 days here, I can charge more and have less responsibility and make more money and work less. So it was my first thought of work less, make more. Schedule it like an entrepreneur, like work a system like an entrepreneur. So I think that was my first hit of working for myself because I was working for myself. I was technically an independent contractor. Mm-hmm. I was claiming all of this on taxes, but like I was just working these rich Dallas, Texas neighborhoods, learning the hustle.
I love it. And so, okay, when you were transitioning and you were doing therapy and you were kind of working on making coaching your full-time job, what was that transition like for you? Or was it hard? Was it kind of smooth?
It was hard. It was scary. So the journey for me is halfway through my master's program, I got pissed when I found out that I wouldn't be able to work with as much freedom as I wanted to work my coaching practice while I was still in school, but I finished the degree. Yeah. So it was scary. I didn't know how to brand myself. I didn't know how to build a client base. I didn't know how to like grow a presence online. I didn't know what I was doing. I was freaked out most of the time. Yeah. I didn't have a client for probably, I don't know, the first like 6 months I didn't have a client, and then I'd get like one client, then one client. I still didn't know how to like really, now people come to me. Like finding clients is like nothing. Like I turn people away a lot as their current situation, but like, and now I sell courses and I have all this other stuff going on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just didn't know what I was doing. But I mean, for me, it looked like every day facing my fear, every single day just like looking my fear in the face, like disproving my limiting beliefs, telling myself a new story, getting up and trying again. I heavily stalked the people online who had what I wanted, like heavily stalked. I did what they did. I didn't hire a coach for a long, long time. I followed people for a long time. It was more of my journey, and I took one guided action, one inspired step at a time until now I look around and go like, holy fuck. Yeah. Like you make $40,000 a month. Like this is your life. Like it's crazy.
And something you said, one guided action at a time. One of the reasons like I wanted you to be on the summit and I so resonate with you, I just feel like you're living, breathing the law of attraction all the time. Like I really I don't know, it kind of just comes across in your Facebook posts or whatever. Yeah. Like how has that kind of, I mean, is that an accurate Like,
Yeah, kind of. So
yeah.
my journey is very weird. Like spiritually, my journey is very weird. So
Uh-huh.
I know this sounds crazy, like that this all fits in the timeline. But before I got my master's degree and before the dead end jobs, I went to Bible college. Okay,
Okay.
so
Interesting.
I have like an
Interesting.
associate's in like biblical studies, and then my minor. It doesn't even matter.
That's
So
fascinating, actually.
fascinating. But the
Mhm.
sect of Christianity I was in was the kind that practiced the law of attraction. They just didn't know it. There's
Okay.
all these verses in the Bible that say, like, tell the mountain be cast into the sea and the mountain must move, or if you ask and believe in your heart that you'll receive, it should be given to you. There's all this stuff in
Yeah.
the Bible. So I was
Yeah.
in the sect of Christianity that were practicing faith. Like, if I have faith in anything, if I believe it, it will be mine. So they're
Yeah.
practicing this belief principle, but they don't understand energy. So there was something
Okay.
kind of missing there. But
Yeah.
I, being me, started working this principle of I can ask for something. And at the time, I thought I was just having faith in God, and God was like, working with me. Now I see it as like universal cosmic forces are like
Yeah.
teaming up with me. It feels
Yeah.
different now. But I would manifest a shirt going on sale. I would manifest a free haircut. I was
Yes.
playing around with me believing I could have something, and based on like the promises of God, it would be mine. And now I say it very differently and I think of it very differently. But yeah, it is. I don't even. But then, like, I never fucking read The Secret. Like, I just live it. I just.
Totally. Totally. You're like a girly manifesting machine. I love it.
I'm kind of a manifesting machine. Yeah. And for me, I was always stuck around money. Money was always my hardest part. So I have these years
Interesting.
of manifesting, co-creating, and then I get into the new age community and I develop more of the words for it, and I understand what the
Yeah.
energy that's happening, and I kind of make it
Yeah.
more of like a process to
Okay.
where I kind of had like this process I could work anytime I wanted to attract something, and I got quite
Okay.
good at my process, but I
Yeah.
got really stuck around money for a long time. So that was a big one for me. But once I started like really making it like my full-time job to just disprove every limiting belief I had around money and every
Yeah.
toxic negative story and redo my money stuff,
Yeah.
that was when my business really exploded, because I was an energetic match for a lot of money, and so my business kind of had to raise up and match me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
So
That
that's
makes
been a lot of my work. Yeah.
very cool. Very cool. I like how everybody like it's interesting to see the one thing that people will get hung up on and then how they break through it. Was there like a certain resource or like a book or a meditation, or do you think you were just ready to bust through the money stuff?
I think we can have whatever we want,
Uh-huh.
but as good-hearted women, we can't energetically get behind it till we believe that there's a beautiful, high service, loving purpose behind it. So when
Yes.
I teach it, I tell people to get their why, because I want them to feel like there's nothing wrong with having money. It's of high service to have money. The universe wants
Yes.
you to have money. Your heartfelt work is supported. I say all of that to get them to be in a place where they go like, there's nothing wrong with this. I can drop the guilt and I can have it. But I don't think that's actually it. I don't think it's that we can do. I don't think we can do it because it's good. I think we do it because we can finally believe. I just think because we're good-hearted people, we have to believe that there's a beautiful intention behind it, or we can't go there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. That's a cool distinction. Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah.
I've ever heard it
So
phrased
all
quite
day
that way.
long, because I want to change the world and I want to be of service and I want to help people, all day long I'm just going like, okay, you want this thing, why? How does this serve the world? How does this help people? But I don't think that's what matters. I think what matters is I energetically get behind it and go, the whole universe is fine with this. Like, everyone's good with this. This serves the world, so now we can do it. And that's just the thing that like puts me into action.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Do you ever struggle with self-doubt or insecurity? And if so, how do you move past it?
Like we all do. People just think I'm this like confident person because I'm so fucking loud and I'm like on Facebook saying all these outrageous things all day. I'm just like saying things that like, I don't know, people are like, whoa. And that's okay, that's kind of my style. It's
Yeah,
kind of also
totally.
just good marketing.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so for every moment that I say something really outrageous that gets like 100 likes or whatever, there's 10,000 moments that I feel like my courses aren't good enough. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day, every time I go to sell something, every minute, you have the doubt. You just can't be ruled by the doubt, and you have to work through and overcome the doubt. And then when you have those hits of inspiration, you have to act. It's not that I'm in inspired mode all the time. It's just that when I have the hit of inspiration, I create something. My next vlog comes out, my next course gets outlined, like whatever. I just trust my positive momentum, and I wholeheartedly believe that every limiting belief and doubt and fear is a lie. So if my baseline belief system is that it's all a lie, then it's my job just to prove it wrong, to just prove that doubt wrong so I can get back out there online today and say more cool shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I like it.
Thanks.
Another theme of this summit is women inspiring other women. And this online world that we're all in can feel so competitive sometimes. And really, when somebody is out there crushing it, it's like, if she can do it, I can too. So I'm curious, is there any woman that comes to mind, or person, it doesn't have to be a woman, who's really like been that for you or shown you what's possible?
Yeah, totally. If Gabby Bernstein wasn't alive, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it to you. I prayed. I needed guidance. I was not in a good place in my life. Like, her book fell off the shelf. I like had a coaching package. I didn't know how to get clients. Like, I don't even know. I wasn't in the online world. Like, I read her book. It like expanded me. I started taking her group coaching. She doesn't even do group coaching anymore, but I started taking her group coaching like over the internet. I was never even in the room in New York. And like now I know her and consider her a friend, but there was 5 years that I didn't know her. But and we're all led to the right people. What she did for me, what I needed to get from someone, was that she was doing it imperfectly. I mean, I was in all of her courses and there would be like kinks and like the emails late and whatever. And I mean, she always, it was just imperfect, but she showed up. She showed up energetically. She always was just like, her presence elevated me, right? Like the way she unapologetically believed in her work led me to believe that I could do the same. So she was imperfect, but she was changing my life. So when I started getting out there into this world, I was just like, fuck perfection. I'm just going to give my best content. I'm going to tell the truth, and that we're going to see what happens. I'm like, thank God for that. Because I'm a Virgo perfectionist woman.
Okay.
I never would have started a business if I waited for it to be perfect. I just never, I mean, I sell my courses before any content's created. I'm like out there, everyone buy this course before module 1 has even been started. But the reason I can do that is because I just believe so deeply in my work and in myself. And I think that's just because Gabby came into my world, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Just like that it was imperfect, but she showed up with so much presence and so fully that, and that's what showed you what was possible. I don't know, that really resonates.
Yeah. I don't know, you would have to ask like my students, but they would probably tell you something similar. Like, she always shows up, she's always delivered, and there's always a misspelling in every email. You know, like that's basically how it is. But it's not stopping me from making a ton of money and changing lives and growing businesses. Like, who the fuck cares about my misspellings, you know?
Yep. I completely agree. What's the best part of being an entrepreneur, in your opinion?
That it's limitless. It's just limitless. You know, I life coached until some of my life coaching clients wanted to become life coaches, and then I started teaching them that they'd be a business coach. And then I started creating courses because there were too many people to help at once. So I had to do something to get it to make more money and get it to more people. And it's like, and then it's like, okay, so you have a $10,000 launch, then a $20,000 launch. Then I just had my first 6-figure launch, and I'm just going, this is limitless. This is limitless. Like, so there's an avenue where I go have a 7-figure launch next year. There's an avenue where I start writing books. There's an avenue where I focus on the personal development brand and expanding it. Like, there's lots of things I could do, and it's limitless.
That's awesome. I love it. And do you have an idea of like where you want to go? So it's limitless, and that's like super exciting.
And then what?
Our books next for you are, I feel like you have a really strong voice. I'm curious. Can we look
I have no idea what I'm fucking doing with my life. Okay, that's another thing. All of you people watching, all the people that seem to have it together, I've met a lot of them now. Like, I've been lucky to meet the people that I've admired, and they're freaking out all the time too. They're freaking out all the time too. They're like, you know, I'm not having enough support in this, or I really need this, or like, I mean, they're doing like, so if those women, if those multi-million earner women, if they're having freakouts and struggles at different times, I mean, I don't know, then we all are. We just all are. Okay. So what's next for me though? I have 4 digital courses, and I launch one each a quarter, and then I am an affiliate for Gabby. So that's 5 launches a year, and I'm a little tired of launching, just a little bit. So next year might look like less launches, like maybe just the money course, my course on money, and just my course on branding. And I'm going to focus on public speaking more. I've started to do public speaking. I'm going to Bali for a month, and then I'm moving to New York, and I might focus on speaking in New York and developing that skill set, because that can be quite a great stream of income, and you're in person with people. It's just that microphone is like an amazing feeling. I've held the microphone a couple times now, and I'm like, give me the give me the mic.
Give me it back. I want it.
Yeah, like I've always had a computer between me and the people, and now that I haven't a couple of times, I don't know. And of course, I want to write books, and I want to do it fucking all. I have no idea. Like I'll just be led one step at a time, like everything else I've done.
Cool. I absolutely love it. So you have a pretty cool 3-part training series called "Get Paid to Change the World."
I do.
Can you tell me about that? Where can people find it?
Now.
Who like needs to watch it?
It's really for beginners. That's just really who was on my mind when I created it, because in one of the videos it's all about attracting clients, and the other videos working online and building the presence online, and the third was like, but how do I start? Like what does it take, like energetically and in my attitude to like grow a business? And those 3 videos in my mind were for me 5 years ago. You know, I started 5 years ago, but 5 years ago, just like, how do I fucking get clients and how do I find people online? Yeah. And like, why isn't this working? You know, my attitude and my energy was a wreck. And so that's what this training series is really for. If you're just like new at this shit or in your first couple of years and you're just like it hasn't taken off. You haven't gotten it off the ground yet. That's probably who it's really good for.
Okay, cool. And your money-making life coach program, I mean, I love that because it's like very clear what that is in the title.
Become a fucking money-making life coach.
I mean, I'm pretty clear what that is, but can you tell us a little more about that?
No, it's so good. Okay. So I have a course called Money Mentality Makeover. It's my favorite thing in the world. And I have a course called Become a Life Coach. And I was observing that the people that went through the Money course and worked through their doubts and fears and limiting beliefs around money had faster results with the coaching course, so I combined them. I was like, the only way to take the coaching course is if you've taken the money course. So people who've already taken the money course are just going into the coaching course, but then there's a group of people taking it all the way through all together. Yes. So it's 4 weeks on money mindset, money manifestation, healing it, clearing it, old memories, old doubts, forgiving the money memories, figuring the crazy shit we saw our parents do around money, like all that, like really deep, juicy stuff that just like has to be done. And then the coaching program is, you know, like coaching skills, basic 101, like branding, like developing that brand, getting yourself out there online, like marketing, like basic, get your website up, get your Facebook ads going. It's like a very 101 online coaching business course. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so they're combined now into this like 10-week program. It's like crazy.
I love how you had 2 separate ones, and then you really like I always say everything in marketing is an experiment, and so I think you were like, okay, this is what I'm seeing. Now we need to combine it together.
Yeah, they both sold well, but I just felt like, how am I gonna? My other courses, I have a course on creating courses. That's people who've been doing this a little bit longer. Then a course on branding. That's people who've been doing branding for a little while and need to like up their branding. But like this basic 101 course, I was like, I just cannot tell people they can start a business when they have all this money shit. Like I just like ethically, I was like, they have to work on the money stuff before I can tell them, start trying to put this into action. You're going to fuck yourself, you know, if you don't do the money stuff first.
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree more. Okay, so my last question for you is, what's your biggest piece of advice for our viewers who are kind of making their transition from day job to dream job? If you could give them one little juicy Amanda nugget.
Do it afraid. You're going to be afraid. It's going to look like it's not working. You're going to feel like you're failing. You're going to wonder why no one wants to buy from you, or like whatever. You're going to feel like a crazy person, and you just have to keep going. If giving up is an option, this won't work. The only way this is going to work is if giving up is not an option.
Yeah.
Because there'll be reasons to quit.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your wisdom.